Do you want to know something? I am so thankful for the trip that multiple sclerosis took me when I went down to the bottom. I know that sounds completely odd and wrong, but it created such a clear split between when that happened and now. It's like it was an entirely different life. And now, though, it's so obvious that my myelin has been restored. But it's not about my journey, it's about yours. I want to pass along my knowledge so you can follow in my footsteps, so you can restore your own myelin. Take it from me. It's the best feeling ever. Once you achieve the recovery that I have had, you will agree with me. Hey, it's Steve. Maybe you're thinking that I only speak for the relapsing remitting patients, like relapsing remitting people are the only ones that can recover myelin, and that primary and secondary progressive patients are left out in the cold. But that's not true. Keep watching. Dave from Colorado sent me a comment saying, the damning thing of primary progressive multiple sclerosis is there is no good days and bad days, only bad days that get worse. I don't know how any other relapsing remitting patient feels, but even as a relapsing remitting patient, I never had good days. So many stories I read online make it sound like if you have relapsing remitting, you'll feel all right most of the time. Then, every so often you'll relapse. You might gain a limb or something else, but you take some steroids and then boom, it's fine. And sure, you will progress slowly, but most of the time you'll achieve a level that even after a relapse, you'll return to. But that's not how it played out for me. I always felt terrible, so terrible. I always felt like I was stuck in the middle of a relapse. All my symptoms ruled my every move each and every day. I mean, I couldn't even take a walk without a cane or a walker. Despite that, I would fall constantly. I counted the falls not by the individual fall, but by the total amount I had each day. It's not something you forget about. I'll live with it in the memory my entire life. I would call a good day as one being under 20 and a bad day as over 40. I think everyone watching can relate using their own scale. I often wondered if I had been misdiagnosed and I really did have primary progressive. But more than that, it was more than just those day-to-day falls. Over time I saw that I was slowly getting worse. And I did have relapses, but they were just in the beginning. After that, I didn't relapse, but I just felt the slow, insidious decline. And what could I do? I was taking a really good drug and there's no hope. There was a deep fear that I lived with. It would make me so depressed, so negative. In those dark moments, I turned negative, extremely negative, started yelling at myself. I said, even if you don't have primary progressive, you are undoubtedly going to progress to secondary progressive really soon. Then after I get over those little down moments and my mood shifted away from that, I often wondered if the different forms of MS were really as different as I thought. I would think, if a person with relapsing can switch to secondary progressive, which a lot of patients do, why can't someone with secondary or even primary progressive switch to relapsing remitting? My 5 essentials, I think, work no matter what form of MS you have. I'll pack this up. I received an email from one of my subscribers, Todd, confirming what I thought. He tells me, I'm 64 and was diagnosed with progressive MS 8 years ago. Over the years, it has been a steady decline. Generally noticeable differences month after month. I was losing motivation and trying to figure out how to stay out of a wheelchair when I came across your videos. I immediately went through all of them. And because some of them I had already explored, it all made great sense to me, and I was all in. He went on and listed some small changes I tell all of you guys to take notice of. Things like it's easier for him to clip his fingernails, bending my left leg just a little when using the walker, and easier to get out of bed. It's those small little changes that you notice, but I promise they grow. But then he went on and started listing bigger changes he is seeing. The motivation is way up. Definitely much stronger than I was. I recently had multiple really big days where I did more than I ever thought possible anymore. But then, he kind of wrapped it up in just one bullet point. He said, it's been 3 months and I haven't noticed any progression. And I know we all notice those little progression. I mean, doctors, that they don't think we pay attention to those things, but we do. I mean, this is coming from someone with primary progressive MS. Does this change the way you think about my 5 essentials? Do you see that progression is not out of your control? Granted, everything is really hard in the beginning, but it gets easier over time. And if you progress like I do, you'll hit a point where it's just, you feel it and your life just switches. And you'll know your myelin is being restored. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video. Until the next one.